We are now looking at record numbers of people coming in under Biden's watch. And that's pretty disturbing. And somehow he goes down there and starts talking about climate change. That's Joe Biden. I mean, is that perhaps another example of his lack of proficiency in terms of his mental capabilities? I don't know. I'm pulling these sound bites for us as we speak, and Drew's queuing them up for you. We are working hard, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday afternoon to bring you all of this. I'm sending him clip 2 from Joe Biden, but let's see if we have Donald Trump. He's going to give me a thumbs up. He's got it ready. Woohoo! All right.
Spoke
Drew,
to the parents of an incredible
awesome
young lady. And
let's watch.
You saw her the other day. You saw what happened the other day in Georgia. And the parents are devastated. They're incredible people. But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had. Probably the most incompetent president we've ever had. But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations. Many nations are not very friendly to us. He's transported the entire columns of fighting aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad. Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office, because hopefully the biggest risk we have is 9 months. That's a long time. A lot of bad.
Why is it all happening now? I keep going back to the kind of rhetoric that was coming from the Democratic Party. They wanted to contrast themselves with Donald Trump. Their only way of doing that was to seem like, oh, Trump is the bad guy. Trump is the mean guy. Trump is the one that wants to be un-American. You know, we are America, the Statue of Liberty, all this jazz. But you know what? I'll tell you, back then, people came in legally. You know, you came through Ellis Island and all that jazz, right? Like you came in legally. And if there was something wrong with you, they put you over to the side. Heck, they even changed people's names because they're like, that's too foreign sounding a name. And then you also think about that generation of immigrants, and they so desperately wanted to blend into America. They so desperately wanted to earn their own way and earn their own keep. And consequently, they created something that is truly magnificent. Right? This nation is a nation of immigrants. I'm a proud Irish immigrant myself. I got a little Lithuanian in there, a little Scottish too, but you know, primarily identifying as an Irish lass. Trish Regan tells you all you need to know. And I think about the challenges that my own family has overcome and the poverty that my parents grew up in, and the belief that this country would afford more opportunity. And it did. So how do you keep that going? One, you got to instill a little patriotism and a little respect for this great nation that we live in. You can't think you're going to live off the dole. I mean, Rome fell for a reason, right? You actually have to encourage people to let them know that, you know what, you're here in America. You can do anything here. It's limitless if you believe in yourself and you work hard. But for some reason, the left wants to keep perpetuating this. No, you can't get ahead because of the color of your skin or your sex or your sexual preference or whatever it may be, because they're so wedded to this idea of identity politics and division, male versus female, black versus white, that they're losing sight of what we all have in common, what we all really are, and that is Americans. Right? As Americans, we believe in this country, but we also believe in law and order. We believe in coming to this country and taking care of oneself. We believe in making sure that we have a very secure border. Because trust me, you're not getting into Mexico and voting in elections there. Can you imagine that? They actually wanted illegal migrants to be voting in school board elections that just got shut down in New York City. Oh, they can vote out in Berkeley, California. That is bizarre. And it sets a very dangerous precedent. And this is why so much is at stake. And Joe Biden is wise to wake up to the fact that Americans don't like this. 28% of Americans polled by Gallup say, don't like this. Immigration is the biggest issue in this country. So what does Joey do? He goes down to Texas. Apparently Kamala wasn't quite cutting it. Let's watch.
Let me end with this. I understand my predecessor's legal past today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know. It's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people. And let's remember who we are. We're the United States of America. No, I mean this. Think about this. There's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing when we work together. And if all things we should be working together on is this, we have the formula to get it done. God bless you all. May God bless.
It's a serious question. I mean, I don't get the impression he really wants to get it done. He is asking for more money so that they can process more people coming into this country. But then they go into the country, what, never to be heard from again? Because the court dates are years out? They got a whole big thing they got to fix. And you know what, I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. They cannot tie it to Ukraine. Okay, I know they want their $60 billion for Ukraine. They cannot tie the border to Ukraine. They got to actually deal with the border head on. And Trump tried to. I mean, heck, Joe Biden came in and tore down the wall that Trump built. And by the way, spent more money tearing down the wall. And now he's right back where he started. So I don't buy that there's any commitment from the Democrats to this border issue. I mean, the reverse. They seem to want to open it up and bring more and more people here and then say, hey, you can vote in school board elections and pretty soon, who knows what else. I mean, it's a pretty pessimistic way of thinking about it, but I'm increasingly becoming a realist in this environment. I guess you have to be. Indeed, you have to be.